Hello, everyone. We'll be starting in just a moment. I want to give everyone a chance to flow on in. Wait like 30 more seconds. All right, well, let's get started. Thank you for being here today. My name is Rob Davidson, and I am so excited to share with you Church360 Unite. So let's go ahead and jump in, get started. For any of those that are watching the recording of this video, our support team of our software consultants, they are always going to be around to answer any questions you have. I have kind of our team email as well as this number below that goes straight to them. So if you want to shoot us an email or leave a voicemail, we'll be around to make sure that any questions that you have are fully answered. And if you want to schedule a demo in order to kind of understand it from the perspective of your church specifically, we'd love to give you a tour. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump in. We're going to do a little bit of housekeeping to start off, and then we're going to get into the demonstration today. So some key people to keep in mind for those of you that don't know, Concordia Technology Solutions is the product division that we are full of church workers. Many of them are developers, and they go to work at churches on the weekends. And we hope that gives us an element of just unique perspective. We're not just a bunch of software people. It's like we are rooted in living in ministry, and so we know how to support them. My name is Rob Davidson. I'm today's host. I'm the manager of CTS Sales and Marketing. I've been with CTS over 2.5 years now, and it's been an absolute pleasure to be able to support churches like yours. And most importantly, your church. Like the slide says, your needs are our priority. Everything we do is for your church. But I think that doesn't fully communicate. At the end of the day, you have to make the right decision for your church. There are a lot of website options out there. We like to think that Church360 Unite has a lot of very church-specific tools. And so I'm going to show some of those today. Some of those you can kind of dive in and play with our team one-on-one. But ultimately, it's on you to make sure that you are making the right decision in the church. And today we are just aiming to give you some information to help educate you, to help you make that decision. So what are we covering today? So we're talking about, surprise, surprise, Church360 Unite. It's specifically built for ministry leaders, administrators, volunteers, people who do a lot of the work with the communication side. Often are people who are using Unite, but it can also be just the people who are running the back office, depending on the size of the church. And ultimately, it comes down to, we bring you products like Church360 Unite, Church360 Members, Church360 Ledger, Shepherd Staff. We create these products for you because we believe in supporting your ministry through technology. So I want to talk a little bit about church communications. I think a lot of times people will write off a website as a nice to have, not a need to have. But what I'm going to try to communicate today is how a church website fits into your ability to help invite new people into your church. And as we all know from the Great Commission, that's our jobs. So, the church website is kind of made up into kind of 3 main pillars, as I'm showing here. It's a place to greet visitors, right, through kind of initial greet-oriented, newcomer-oriented web pages. It's a place to provide people throughout your church value, and that goes whether or not they are first time visiting your site, your church, to someone who's a member and they're looking for resources and on their spiritual journey. And finally, it's a way to invite them back. I definitely recommend websites that have more communication tools because that's going to allow you to kind of bridge the gap between your website and then getting that in front of people that would really benefit from the value your church is trying to create for them. So what does kind of that website strategy, what would that look like for someone coming into a church for the first time? So I've kind of created a little diagram here. Prospect looks for a new church home. That's the first spot. Then they discover your church website, right? They then move, they come to the church after seeing the worship times, right, on your site, the address, where to find it, what the vibe is. They come and visit your church and fill out a visitor card, right? Then that allows you to take that contact information, put it into either your Church360 members, church management software that'll then sync into Church360 Unite, or to put it straight into Church360 Unite for you to then send out a free email to them, inviting them to join a small group, to join the church, what have you, whatever kind of your next step is. Once they do, you can invite them to your resource hub. And there's a lot of things that I'll show you today where you can have additional resources on the site. You follow up with them, you help them getting set up with your church, getting integrated. Oftentimes people, when they're ready to take that next step of going even deeper in a church, they'll come and volunteer, or they participate in online discussion boards that you can host on your website with Unite. And that's a feature that I'll showcase a tiny bit today, but you don't see that on most modern websites anymore because oftentimes it's really complex to build in. So, all that being said, these are just a few ways in which a website is touching the lives of your prospective or current congregants. And so I think that means we, as people who are working in churches, as people who are trying to communicate, to invite people into a church in order to minister to them, like we need to take a website strategy really seriously. So moving forward. Just loosely, how does the church benefit? How do they get their head around Church360 Unite? What is it? So, churches have unique website communication needs. I think you're getting that from the previous other slide. But most solutions fall short of meeting those needs or create more work than they actually should. Sometimes websites these days are going to require you to code. And if you're like me, you didn't go to school for that. And so you need something to be easy, but you don't need it to be overcomplicated. So Church360 I like to group it in kind of these big buckets. One, there's an online directory aspect. That's incredibly important for churches to help facilitate a lot of the common questions that the church office gets. Discussion groups drives engagement between church members. I think that's incredibly important for your church to be active within itself. Text and email. Very few, if any, websites allow you to text and email for free as part of your subscription. In order for you to better communicate with your congregants. And like I'm saying, it needs to be easy to use because, as we all know, the people who work in a church, they have so many things going on. It's not like their only job is to manage the website, which means they need to be able to send updates to the site really quick, really easy, and then from there move on to the next project that is in front of you. So, the software does a lot, and I'm about to show you a little taste, but I really recommend diving in, starting a free trial yourself, so you can kind of see this more than just, a talking head. But we have an event log, church directory, page templates, unlimited users. I've talked about a lot of these pieces. So, Church Unite does a lot. It saves you time, it keeps you organized, and it supports your ministry. I hope you're starting to see, how that works. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the demonstration. I'm going to jump slides here, and then great. So that looks like we're showing here. So this is kind of a templated website we have. We have a lot of different kind of theme formats here, but this is kind of our go-to, the one that the sales team, the marketers, and the support team, we all kind of share and work with in these kinds of training or overview webinar cases. So as you get here, you can see, we have a home page. We have some kind of quick resource, answer some questions, links to pages that people ask, some connection, content here. And then, this is a flow from what's populating on the calendar. Really quick, easy things that could be beneficial for people interacting with your home page. But I'm going to go ahead and sign in. Really quickly, I think it's something really. No, I'll get to that after. So let me sign in. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go from right to left on this top navigation bar here to give you a feel of everything that's inside the software. And then from there, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the question tab in the kind of the software that you're using to watch the webinar, and I'll be able to kind of personalize this as much as the time allows. So going through this, we'll jump into settings and just some quick things to keep in mind. You can integrate and kind of build out different calendars for whatever your needs. You can obviously have a custom domain. You can integrate Google Analytics. Whether you have Shepherd staff or Church360 members, you can sync that information either manually or automatically, depending on what you have. You can add in links for social media, and then you can set up your opt-in message for text messages, because you have to have people opt in before you start sending them all those good updates. So themes is a big thing that we do here for churches that subscribe to Church360 Unite. Oftentimes, when you're using a third-party, what's it called? A third-party website hosting service or what have you, they're going to often charge you, not always, but they're going to often charge you for themes. And so all of our themes are free, included, and fully customizable. So I think we all remember this is what we had. Let's just show you how quick and easy it is to update a website. So boom, I'm going to click in. I'm going to click this one. I'm going to click apply theme, and I'm out. Took seconds, right? That is incredibly unique. I've been building websites for years, and I've never seen it be that easy to update a theme on a website. And you can customize that even deeper if you so wish. You can update kind of the fonts for the headers or the different, body copy, etc. You can customize the colors however you want. If you are able to code, we give you that ability to customize it to whatever degree you see fit, but it's not needed to have a beautiful website. We haven't coded this at all in the example that I keep kind of pulling up and showing you. Okay, so next area I want to show off is kind of users. So as I was mentioning before, there's an aspect of Unite that's really communication focused. If you're inviting people to the church, you're getting their contact information, right? You should be putting that in a database, whether to show that on a church directory or to invite them back to church, right? Because oftentimes when people visit a church, they may not come back because, when you're just kind of floating, you might not have felt welcome. And that's not because anyone's doing anything wrong. It just means it takes a couple times for a church to feel like a home sometimes. And so inviting people back is going to be in your best interest. And so we can see that we need a way to enter people's contact information into Unite. So that's what we have here. So you can see we have a list of all of these people. We're showing whether or not they're listed in the main directory in the system here. if they have specific logins, because you can have unlimited personal logins for this for everyone in your congregation. You can see when the last time they signed in as, and then you can see if they have like a specific role. So we have some admin roles, we have some regular user roles, etc. And then finally, you can see the email associated with each person. So we can change the role to each person here. I think you have to check someone first. Let's go ahead, Jordan here, change role. So I can then change him to just a publisher, may edit content, designer, may edit content and themes, administrator may manage themes and settings, or none, they can't log into the site at all. So often when you're inviting your congregants, they're just going to be a user, right? You just want them to be able to log in to see some of the pages that you have classified as members only, right? They're not going to show to the general public, but they can show to people who have a login, right? Or if you have someone that, hey, you don't want them messing with settings, but you do want them to maybe update a web page. Maybe they're a small group leader, right? You may want them to have the ability to make some tweaks. So moving forward, mailing lists is kind of an extension of that. You have this list of different kind of groups that you can then add people to from your users. We were just, you can see here that the maintenance crew has 3 people here, or you have groups of people, right? The men's club, but people who are in the men's ministry also receive this one. And then communication, jogging my memory. I think this, yes. So this one is a list of all of the communications that have gone out. So different people are using this throughout the software, and oftentimes it's just they're sending to a mailing list or an email, right? And this, I guess, is who's sending it. So really, really straightforward, and you can always I can click this group, send email, and then it pops up. You can't see it, but it pops up. I don't know if this, so it pops up to this specific group. So this is the group that I had just clicked, and then I can create an email using the client. So really easy to use, really fast. All right, next thing is our event log. This is incredibly powerful. I've never seen this in a website before, but this shows you a history of all the changes and who made them throughout the website. So you can say here that, Matt Cobbs just added somebody. This is me, right? I'm making some changes. I'm adding a cell phone number. I'm adding my wife, right, to the Davidson household. And then you can kind of see Rod, he heads off our support team. He's making some changes. So you can monitor, especially if you're giving people different login or permission role levels, you can see any of the changes they make on your site, which makes it incredibly safe. You can see the email log. I need to load. We have so much activity that, especially on that event log, we have so many changes that sometimes it takes a second to load. It is not, I probably have too much going on my computer. All right, moving on. We have texting opt-in, right? We have Grant here. He's one of our software consultants. So you can kind of see his number, and he was matched to one of the people in the software, but now you can kind of send that individual text messages. And then we have comments on all of the discussion groups. You can see the few here. So then posts are kind of that resource hub that I was talking about earlier. So you can see here that we have some sermons that are posted. The pastor has a blog, and we have some news and announcements, a prayer request board. That is a way for you to kind of create something of value that helps keep your congregation active and engaging online. And then finally, we have the pages section. Now, this is really, really neat. So this allows you to drag and drop your navigation to change the layout of your site. All you need to do is kind of move it from there to here, and it puts it in kind of this new section. Easy peasy. Another kind of neat piece is that if you're ever trying to make a new page, we have page default templates already made for you. So if you want a little bit of kind of some guardrails of, hey, what kind of content should I be putting on this site? We already have that ready for you. And then all you have to do is kind of modify it for your church's specific needs and details. And then finally, I think the other thing that's worth noting is this members only stuff. So you'll see there are pages here that are contact us. That means anyone can see that page. And then you have times in which it says members only. That members only is going to be private to anyone unless they are logged into the site. So let's go ahead and see that here. So we're going to continue without saving. So you can see here one of the things, this members icon. This is the directory that I mentioned in the very beginning of the webinar today, where I can see a directory of every single household that's been put into this system, right? So that's fantastic. I can click in. I can see who's a part of it. Their pictures are loading from Church360 members, their contact information. If they had family information, that would have been listed here. So this is great. But again, you don't want everyone being able to get this information. So what we'll do here is I'm going to sign out, reload the page. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now I'm on this main page, and you'll see here in this connect header, there's no members. There's no members page. I am not logged in, so I can't access these pages, which means that this information you can comfortably share online, but you can rest easy knowing that is an incredibly secure process, kind of database in your software. So that's pretty much it. I want to take the rest of the time to answer any questions you have, but let me kind of wrap a couple things off. I always say, oh, I'm done, and then, oh wait, 2 more slides. So here we go. So thank you so much for attending the webinar today. Our team is giving away free church software assessments. So if you want to kind of carve out some time and just kind of get deep on everything that your church office does to operate and uncover any areas in which you might not be operating as efficient as possible, this could be an opportunity for you. Otherwise, I think the big call to action is if you feel like Church360 Unite could meet your needs, I really invite you to download a free trial. And you can get to that free trial on our main website. So if you go to our main page, right, this is www.concordiatechnology.org, and you scroll down to Unite, and then start free trial, it's right here. And then all you do is fill out your information. And then once you do that, I'll get an email, and I'll make sure one of our software consultants is aware and is at the ready in case you have any questions along your trial period. So with that, I'll go ahead and put up our contact information here. And otherwise, I'm ready to take any questions. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and wrap it up. All right, I am not seeing any questions. Well, thank you all again for being here today. I hope you have a wonderful week, and just thank you for considering Church360 Unite. Take care. Bye.